Right. We're in for a little bit of a treat now because I have the boys now from a band you may remember from back in the day called the Ream. Welcome to each and one of you. How we doing today?
Thank you, Dan, for having it.
Very well. It's nice being called a boy, isn't it, still?
Great to hear it. Exciting times for you because you got a new compilation double CD out at the moment.
Yes.
But I just wanted to we'll come on to that. I just wanted to ask, how does it feel to be back?
We haven't been anywhere.
Now, listen, I mean, I understand what that means. It's like, it's great. We're getting a push from the label, and that means we're getting a bit of attention. But really, it's an anthology. It's in place to really mark the 30th anniversary of Things Can Only Get Better being at #1 in January coming. That was 30 years ago. So they're really good New State, our little label, and they put some thought and time into this, and they got together. Alan was more involved than me, but they went through everything that we had, and we found all sorts of stuff that's never
light of day.
Never seen the light of day. I mean, you're better at this bit than me. Yeah, just tell them.
We've got some live stuff. We've got some songs that were never released, some that were never been streamed. That we found on the 2-inch tapes when we remastered everything.
Yeah.
So we remastered it all to make, because apparently that makes it sound really loud and amazing, which it does. So,
well, there's details in there that you don't hear on the original records because it's been so well remastered. So it's nice to hear.
So there's that, and what else is there? Is there anything else on there?
Well, there's the remixes of the new.
Oh, and there's new remixes as well of.
You could be forgiven for thinking we've only ever written 2 songs, which is not true because we have written 60, maybe 70 songs. It's just that we're outside of the hype machine, and people only remember Things Can Be Better and You're the Best Thing. But that's shame on them, not on us. And they need to get their clicking fingers together and go and see what else we've been doing.
Great. It's been a great ride for you there. Just say you're more than just a one-hit wonder, because on your compilation CD, all your work there showcases that you've had a great career. Also, I didn't know that Brian Cox had a kind of connection with your band as well.
Yeah, well, he was actually our tour manager to start with, and we were his summer job. I think 92, 93, and he wasn't a very good tour manager. But we decided he was going to be our keyboard player because he could play keyboards and he looked great and he fitted in with the vibe. He's a great vibe about him, Brian. So he got the job as the keyboard player, and we never looked back. And he had to leave us in 95 because we were off to Australia, and he came and he was really upset because he wanted to come to Australia with us. But I said to him, look, your job will still be there if we come back and we're still happening. And he wanted to go off and finish his degree. And after he did that in September, they made him a professor, one of the youngest ones, I believe. So we had a keyboard and a professor working with us. I had no idea.
Not many people, not many bands could say they've had that,
No, I think. Well, isn't Brian May quite smart?
He likes badgers.
Well, I know that, but that doesn't. I mean, he's a mathematician, isn't he?
I think he was an astrologer, wasn't he? Maybe
an astrologer. Maybe that's
Great. Around that time as well, Things Can Only Get Better. That was around the time of Take That as well. Has anyone kind of mixed that? Mistaken the Ream song for like Take That in places?
I did tour with Take That this time, in fact, in October, November 1993, and that's when all of the Take That fans got to hear about us, and I'm very grateful that they gave us our #1 in the January of 1994. But the only thing that sounds like us from Take That was Robbie when he did his version of my song, which is called Shoot Me With Your Love. He had a version of his song called Let Me Detain You, but it's basically a copy of ours. But that's as close as they came.
It's not bitter.
No, look, what can you do about it? It's done, and the thing, no one's got the time and all that energy to be in court and all the rest of it. But no, Take That. If they want a new singer to replace Robbie, they know where I am. We could call it, Dream That.
Dream That?
Dream That, yeah.
Brilliant.
You can call it what you like. Take Remix.
Alan's getting the bad news already that he's
been ousted again.
Again.
And guys, I never bring politics into my shows, but I know your song's been used in a string of campaigns. What's your kind of view on that?
Look, it's great that it has a life outside of when we were part of it, and we're still part of it. But yeah, it's become like Clap for Carers. I know that Labour used it in '97. Chris Payton's got a great version out that's been remixed by Eric Cupper, and that's doing really well in the States. So I think it's great that it's got a life of its own. It's like a child. I suppose you get it to 18 and then it goes off and you never hear from it again. Except
Unfortunately, we hear from this one all the time.
Yeah, you get the postcard, don't you?
Never leaves us alone, this one.
Of course, things can only get better. That in itself is a positive phrase, isn't it? Saying motto.
Yeah.
Are you guys quite positive in your personal lives? Half glass full type of thing.
Yes, I think so.
Look, no, I'm a human being. I don't run around like Mr. Motivator all the time, sweetness and light. I know you do. Yeah, you're the least grumpy in the whole band.
I know.
But no. Listen, I still take great joy in performing, and we have a great live show. And when we get to do our big songs, it just kicks off, and I can't ask for anything more than that.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? And you mentioned on this new EP as well, double album, you have some remixes as well. A fantastic Mark Knight remix has a fantastic build-up before your vocals kick in, and kind of a bit of Blue Monday-ish in the background there.
Everyone says it. There is. I have done the test. I've done that litmus test where you put the tracks next to each other to make sure that the lawyers can't get involved. So it is. It does feel like it, but somehow when you put them together, it's actually quite different. But there's no doubting it does have a bit of that. I like that because that's a great song anyway. And I think he did it with Kylie, didn't he, years ago with Get Out in the Head. So you know what? If it works, it works.
And I suppose with the 120 BPM, that same beat's the same anyway. It's quite constant in places.
Is it 120? I thought it was about 125. That one.
Yeah. I might be wrong.
I'm just guessing. I'm guessing. It sounds quite fast to me. I played it at the weekend actually at the gig, and it was yeah.
That's cool.
It went down very well.
It's not going to be used in a spinning class. Let's put it that way.
It might be.
On to your next hit was "You're the Best Thing." I like the. Is it the Perfecto remix? Was that the band?
Paulo could fold. Yeah, that was Paulo could fold.
Has a bit of a trancey, dreamy feel to it. That one, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I like that.
Does, yeah, well, Paul does. Yeah, well, that's what he did. Still does probably as well. That was when 94.
Something like that, yeah.
And I wanted to talk about I Like It. You have a Sure Is Pure remix of that, and that's a proper clubby throwback stomper as well.
That wanted that on the album because that came out in 1993 when I Like It came out, and it wasn't available on streaming services. And when we went to remaster it, we found that the actual 2-inch tapes were corrupted, so we had to get a final copy of it, a really good final copy of it, and master it from that. So it was almost lost, that one. So I thought we get it there and get it out. So it's saved for posterity.
Posteriority.
No, just posterity.
Posterity. Okay.
And looking back as well, when you see the Top of the Pops reruns, what's it like seeing yourself back on the screens again?
I don't watch them.
I do.
You do?
I did, yeah, because I got.
You missed them when you were there.
I was so drunk on both of them. The ones I did that I thought I've got to have a little look, see if they actually didn't film me at all. I'm in one of them. The other one I think they avoided me but I do like to look at Peter and see how lovely and young he looked. Vibrant.
That worries me. It really does.
Brilliant. So this album will take you to the end of the year. What's 2024 looking like? Will you be performing like at festivals?
Yeah. Festivals.
We're doing Limerick in Ireland. We're doing
Elgin, Scotland.
Elgin in Scotland. We've got a few on mainland England. So look out for Facebook because that's where Alan's on there all the time. And if you want to know if we're playing in a cinema near you from Monday
or a chip shop.
And that's all up online, yeah.
We'll be there, but we're hoping to get a tour together in around autumn when our new material album comes out. Well, should be out there, and that's what we're working on at the moment. So the idea is to get some gigs around that, and hopefully we're going to be in Australia as well. That's the plan. We've got a few things going on, but we'll see how that all pans out.
That's cool. I know, because this show's syndicated, I know we have a few stations down under, so watch out, listeners. So that's good to know.
Watch out. We'll be there.
And next year as well, performing in theatres maybe? Would there be a Dream musical maybe? Or is that
the musical, the Peter, that's coming from you talking about that.
I'm good about things like this. I think, we have to look at every possible avenue. But yes, that would be lovely.
Pete quite likes the idea of having a Dream musical, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Who would play you, though?
Me?
Yeah.
I'll play myself.
You play yourself?
I will. I'll play the young owl
I
and
had
the old
a
owl.
thought came into my head there, and I won't go there.
Okay.
Great. I just got one final question for you. What's today's music industry like compared to back in the day when you were doing it? What advice or guidance would you give someone starting out? I know it's really tough
There were
out
sharks back then.
I
And they're
think
still even
they're the whale
sharpier
shark
now.
now.
Yeah, no.
No, listen, stay away from drugs because they're bad people. And the other thing is obviously don't work alone. Maybe make sure that you've got a good network supporting you, that you're not trying to do it all on your own, because it is possible to do, but it makes it just so much heavier, if you know what I mean, rather than sharing the load. That's what I'm saying.
Great advice there. Well, to the both of you, Peter and Al, thanks very much for joining me today on my show, Danny's Son radio show. Great chatting with you. Great laugh as well. You're great luck with this album as well. Very best with everything as well. Thanks,
Thank you kindly.
And we're going to whack it on my show if that's all right with you. One of your tracks.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right with me.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas.